Okay, so let's sketch this out. You don't have to sketch it out, but it's just helpful to see the graph. It's good practice for us. You could use graph paper for this as well. Okay, so x equals 4 is our directrix. So that's a vertical line at x equals 4. It looks something like this. So x equals 4. We know that the vertex is a 0, 0, because for all these graphs, that's what it says it, even in the question. That's nice that we said that. Vertex is 0, 0. So if I went 4 units to the right to get to the directrix, I guess I would go 4 units to the left, and that would give me my focus point. Again, you could use formulas to get some of this if you need to. If I wanted to keep graphing it, and really, I'm doing overkill there. I just want to graph the whole thing just for practice. Remember, this distance, from here to here, this distance is c. And so if I go 2c up from the focus and 2c down from the focus, I should hit my graph. So I would go 2 times 4, c equals 4, so 2 times 4 would be 8. So I go 8 units down, 8 units up, and now I have my parabola. It's just nice to actually view the actual parabola. Looks something like that. Okay, let's write the equation of the parabola, right? So we know, let's just write what c is. So c is a distance there of 4. So is c equal 4, negative 4? That's always the question. It opens to the left. So this is definitely a negative 4 right there. The other way you could have gotten that, c is negative 4, is looking at, okay, here's our equations. Like the directrix equation is x equals negative c, right? So x equals negative c. So if 4 is equal to negative c, doesn't c equal negative 4? Right, so it does. So now we use our formula. A equals 1 over the quantity 4c. Well, c is negative 4. So A equals negative 1/16. So our equation, this is an x equals ay squared kind of graph. So my equation will be x equals A is negative 1/16 because we need A for the equation y squared. So this is my answer. Double check it. It's opening to the left. That's negative. A is negative, so it looks pretty good. A focus at 0, 8. Okay, so focus at 0, 8. So 0, 8. So instead of giving the equation, they're just giving us, a point or two here. So 0, 8. We know the focus is at 0. The vertex is, so this is our focus. Our vertex here is at 0, 0, which means our directrix, right? That line would be right here, equidistant. So it's going to be y equals negative 8. Okay, now we're, if we want to just go ahead and graph it. You probably don't have to do all this, but let's just go and graph it. So if I want to go, if c is equal to positive 8, which it is, I'm going to go 2c to the right. So I'm going to go from the focus 16 units to the right, 16 units to the left, make my points. My graph looks like this. It's a parabola that opens up. It's opened up, so we know c is positive. So c was 8, we think, so c equals 8. And again, a equals 1 over 4c. So 1 over 4 times 8 is 1/32. Sorry, that was so sloppy. So 1/32 is our a. So our equation we're plugging into is y equals a, x squared. So y equals 1/32 x squared. We got it. So it's kind of fun. They give us, some bits of information, and we kind of go from there. Find the equation of the parabola shown. So this is the one that students in my class have the most trouble with. Go ahead and try it, stop it, and try it for a second. if you tried it and maybe you made an assumption, maybe you said, oh, like the focus point would have to be right here, right? That's actually a bad assumption to make. So that is not actually true. Whoops. So I'm going to erase that. I don't know what I'm hitting there. Hitting the wrong thing. Okay, so that actually is not the focus point, or at least it doesn't have to be the focus point. So the only thing we really know about this graph is we know we have the point 2, 2, which is an x and y value, right? We know that's one of the values on there. And my hk value is going to be 0, 0. So we have 2 points on this parabola. We know it's a parabola. Hopefully you see it go, oh, that's an x equals parabola. This is a sideways parabola, so x equals ay squared, because the vertex is at the origin. Do you see what you can do? You know, x is -2, y is 2, x is -2, y is +2, and we get -2 equals 4a, divide by 4, get a equals -1/2. So my equation, if you plug it back in, is x equals -1/2 y squared. I especially like to check the positive negatives here. So it's open to the left, so I do think that a needs to be negative. It's kind of wide, wider than usual. That looks about right, actually. So that would be the answer. That's it for the screencast. Actually, let's do one more thing. Let's do the PSAT. So which of the following is a solution to the equation there? Stop it. Try this one. You could try to factor it. So I'm going to use the AC method. So AC, A times C would be 4 times -3 is -12. So I'm going to factor -12 as many different ways as I can. That would be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Did any of those add up to +4? Those don't, those don't. This could be if the 2 was negative. I think that could work. So I'm going to split up that middle term. So I'm going to say this is 4x squared minus 2x plus 6x minus 3 equals 0. And so now we're going to group the first two terms and the next two terms. So pull out the GCF, this would be 2x times x minus 1. Sorry, 2x minus 1. I think that's right. Okay, plus 3 times 2x minus 1. 2x minus 1 matches, that's great. So we get 2x plus 3 times 2x minus 1 equals 0. So my solutions are, this is a long way of doing it, isn't it? You got to be really good at factoring. Maybe this wasn't the fastest way of doing things. I'm realizing this now. So you get 2x equals 1, so x equals 1/2. Is that one of the answers they chose? No. Okay, I mean, that is an answer, but it's not the one they chose. 2x equals -3, because I set that equals 0, divide by 2, divide by 2. X equals -1/2, which is the same thing as -3/2. That works. Guess what you could have done? This might have been faster. A lot of my students just get in the habit of just kind of going, okay, I'm just going to plug that in for x and plug that in for x and see if I get 0 or not. And if you're allowed to use your calculator in this section, you type it in your calculator. Be sure when you write that, if you did type it in your calculator, this would be -1.5 in parentheses squared. That'd be real important that you put that in parentheses because that becomes a positive number. Plus 4 times -1.5. Always plug in with parentheses. That's a real important thing. And you could solve it that way. I think when you do type that in your calculator, you do get 0, so that would work as well.